For me, a city boy, basically, growing up dreaming of seeing the largest bird of prey, or the most powerful bird of prey in the world, it was a treat. And we brought a little video because it's something not everybody has seen. I, again, don't know of a lot of people who've seen the harpy eagle in the wild itself, but some feeding examples here. It's a little long, so I can talk. There's a sound coming out. Maybe I should shut up. I'll do that. Camera's a common sound. I know it's long, but we were dispelling some myths, and one of the myths was that the parent would hold the food away from the chick and give it small pieces so that it wouldn't choke. And then we started watching, the size of the morsels or tidbits that the chick would get, and we thought, is this true? So we were able to make our own judgments, let's put it that way, okay? So much for the stretched out napkin and small pieces. So I hope this isn't too much. Should be over. So remembering one of our objectives was to observe, we had a great opportunity. The next thing we had to do was take those observations and record them. The journal was a typical example. I mean, the photography is another. And I'd sit there with a camera, in this case, I used film and digital at the time, and spotting scope, and really you had to pay attention because there was so much going on. And this is all during the day. So I wanted to show you the setup of the hammock that I stayed in under the tent, or under the nest tree, and different occasions. I'll explain a little further along how the tribe came into play here, but that's a separate story. So we're getting to the adult calling. I learned about chiggers here. I never knew what they were until I got home. Okay. Yeah. I'll just tell a quick story. I got into the hammock one night and thinking it was set up, and found out the two trees I had attached to snapped, or one of the two. So I was sitting on the ground in the rain and had to get up quickly with my headlamp before it started pouring, and I'd get soaked and everything else. And every tree I went with my headlamp around the spring, there was something slimy crawling on it, not snakes, but spiders, millipedes, whatever it was. The journal was, I don't want to say a trial, but it was difficult knowing what was expected. So being the first, I just said I'm going to scribble notes, and it's not the prettiest, but I've said I'm going to do whatever I can. Keep some of my observations, again, the confirming ones, I'd write down and put new ones down and write the story as if I was writing to my wife, which she was with me, but as if it was to her almost. Or my students, I think is what I said. So I have clicked. Confirming things like nictitating membrane. The guide, for example, hadn't even seen which way it blinked, so it was just something that at that moment seemed appropriate, and I drew it down. Some studies would get a little bit more involved. Watercolor did not work very well in the jungle. It was so humid, my watercolors turned into soup, so I said I'll go to acrylic, which once they dried, and that was it, okay? Bark from trees, anything I could, I stuck in this particular journal, and confirming facts that would later become parts of paintings, and that's how the journal basically went. Just to give you an example, it's pretty hot where we were in the jungle, and you're tired, you're bug bitten, you're whatever it is. I got, I guess at the end of the day, an idea, and I wanted you to look closely at this nest and then blur it. I'll blur it a little bit. think of a bird of prey kind of swooping through the forest. Does this look like its eyes here, and maybe a beak, wings? Okay, well, that might become a painting one day. And I'm just trying to give you ideas of the kinds of things you go when you're on drugs. So that's the next. Okay. The next expedition objective, or the second one, was to do some artwork. And as simple as that sounds, I don't know if you can, if you've ever been so overstimulated you do not know where to begin.
Yes.
And we just came back from 2 months in Africa, and I swear I don't even know where to begin. So this is the same example here. It is a difficult process, and I was getting freaked out. I did not know where to go with this. So I said, my comfort zone was drawing. I love to draw. So what I decided to do was throw everything I was used to doing. It's easy to copy a photograph. I didn't want to do that. So I said, how could I put design, drawing, something that maybe I haven't seen? All the time asking my wife, do you think I'm wasting my time? Should I be doing this? And it was rewarded or validated when Artist Magazine chose it to be the best wildlife painting of that particular year. I know all of you, if you'd submitted, would have beat me, but I'm just saying, it was there, okay? And what I was more appreciative of is the fact that I don't know how many people that magazine reaches, but I was on the front cover, or the Harpy Eagle was, think of that. And when they opened up, they'd read about the AFC expedition or the Harpy Eagle, which, again, was one of our objectives, to educate. I didn't say we had to educate millions of people at once. It could be one person at a time. And I can't think of how many people have heard of the Harpy Eagle who have reacted that they'd never heard of it before. So, again, it's easy to copy a photo, but what I tried to do here is just throw paint. It freed me a little bit to show some of the creatures that we saw in the jungle and do something a little different, I hope, than what you'd see every day. So this tamarin here is another example, okay? We only had 20 minutes. It's your projector. Click it. The one that's here is more, I just like to think of it more as a design element. You know, it wasn't, I know everybody here can draw, but I just wanted to do something that would show, I don't know, little thought in the drawing or design part of it. And that's it. So in the end, we will conserve only what we love, and we love only what we understand, and we will understand only what we have been taught. That's for those people in the very back row. Teaching is done a lot of different ways. I am a teacher, and I know my students learn so many ways. One of them is to see somebody do something, the other is to see pictures, the other is, to be told. And I think just by doing the artwork, we are reaching more people than we know, because that 1,000 words versus the one picture thing. When we stayed in Panama, we knew that we could stay under the nest and have the tribe that was closest, or their land that we were on, come out and cook for us every day or whatever. But as we got to this village, we found out a little surprise. They provided a hut for us, and that we were the first visitors ever to come into their village. So that was pretty neat. And I'll figure out that the children were the thing that, I don't know, I guess I concentrated on, or it struck me the most. We asked their teacher, and if you have a chance, just read this page in your own time. If there was anything my wife and I could do, I said, we don't have any money, or a lot, we don't. I said, what we want to do is help you, we don't know what to bring. And he said, school supplies and baseball equipment. I'll go into that story later if you want to talk about it. But I got back, did a radio interview, I'm from Canada, Calgary, and on the radio interview, I hung up the phone after 5 minutes. 5 minutes after I hung up after the radio interview, the phone rang from a guy Googling me in his car. It sounds bad. He said, I have a bunch of baseball equipment. Would you want that? I said, yes. And I went to my class the next day, and I told them, I said, this story happened because kids were killing birds with slingshots in the next village, is how this whole story began. He wanted to teach his kids something else. My students brought in hundreds of pounds of school supplies. Hundreds and hundreds of dollars came in, I don't know, thousands maybe, I don't remember. And we brought 200 pounds in a return trip, that's all we could carry luggage-wise, to the village. Now, just trying to figure out where I am here. I thought, wouldn't it be interesting if these were the people that we were educating? get touched when I see them. I don't know what it is. If we